Hi, I'm Emilee Moody, and I work for the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture Cooperative Extension Service. My office is located in Prairie County, and today I just wanted to come and share with you guys some information about air fryers that I've been using in my own county.
My name is Christopher Henson, and I work for University of Arkansas Community College at Morrilton. I'm a registered dietitian and I have a doctorate of health sciences, and I'm here to help Emilee bring the kitchen into yours by talking about these different kinds of models. We have several varieties of air fryers here, and we're going to talk a little bit about each one of them and their sizes and what they might be used for. The first one, our research team picked up at Walmart for about $25, and as you can see, this basket is super small, 2.5 quarts. If you're a bachelor at home or a single lady, or maybe you're newly married, very comparable for those types of portions, not large groups at all, not large families, probably 1, 2, maybe 4 people for sides, not necessarily as an entree, but just beginner, right? Isn't that what you said earlier?
Yeah, something good to try out, especially if you've never had an air fryer before. Much less expensive, much more cost effective for something that you just want to try out, and then you can always upgrade.
Get your feet wet a little bit. The second one, this is personally mine, much larger basket. This one's retailed around $100. We use this one at home. As you can see, the basket is 3 times the size. This is a 7.5 quart air fryer. We use pizza rolls, tater tots, French fries, those kinds of things, chicken nuggets, if you will. We like this one. It's digital screen. You set the time on it and the temperature, and away you go.
Yeah, so we see a lot of variations in the different air fryers. You pretty much are going to use them all about the same. Some of them, like we see this one is digital and it looks a lot more complex. So like when we turn it on, it beeps and lights up. This one is just set the timer or set the temperature with this gauge and then set the timer, and it ticks like your general kitchen timer. But the gist of all of them is that it is basically a mini convection oven. It's going to cut down on some energy costs. It's not going to heat up your house in the middle of summer. You can cook a variety of different things. It crisps up really nice.
We will cook a variety of different things in these. So can you tell me, Emilee, what would, if I was didn't know anything and I'm watching this video and I want to go buy one, is there a direction? What's the main difference other than the dials versus the digital? Why would I choose one that's digital versus one that's just dial? Is there?
Good question. So some of the differences, for instance, this one, it has 2 drawers. So I'll pull both of those out and let you see. These 2 drawers are smaller drawers. So that would just be a multi-drawer air fryer versus this one is what we call more of a family size. And you can see what a big difference you have there. So you're going to be able to make a much larger batch. So we're going to make some sweet potato fries here in a little bit. Putting your sweet potato fries in here for your whole family, you're going to have plenty of room without overfilling that basket and be able to toss it. This over here is good for smaller batches. You can still cook the sweet potato fries in here, but you're probably going to need to use both baskets to do that. This one is going to be about the same size as this one basket-wise. That one on the end, though, that's going to be our very smallest one. And I believe it's even smaller than this basket.
Sure is.
So you just, the first thing, of course, we're going to want to talk about cost. If you can't afford a $150 air fryer, then there's nothing wrong with that. But also the size. You want to get a size that's going to benefit your family. For my family personally, the little one wouldn't be enough for us. It's just not going to be enough space. We do a lot of reheating in ours. We do cook recipes in it, but just for like general day-to-day reheating, or those after practice, throw some chicken nuggets in there. It's great for some of those fast freezer foods. I don't think I can fit many dino nuggets in that one down on the
Probably not, but we use pizza rolls at home and I know they were great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there you go.
Safety features. You have children. Are there any safety features? Like, do you have a top top 3 list, top 5 lists of don't do's and do-do's, if that makes sense?
I mean, it's kind of similar to the oven safety, basically. You know, the great thing about the air fryer is it is on your countertop, so it's further back on the countertop. It does have to sit away from the wall just a little bit so that air can circulate around it. Okay. But I mean, I have a 4-year-old and he can't reach up on the counter yet to be able to pull it out. Whereas, you know, the oven door, they can reach the oven door. So as far as a safety perspective for families, it's probably, I would say, a little bit more safe. But keeping in mind that when we pull this basket out, this entire thing is hot. So it's going to be like pulling out a hot baking dish from the oven. So that would definitely be something safety-wise to keep in mind.
Sure. Okay. Is there any food that we do pizza rolls, we do French fries and tater tots. Is there any specific food that we shouldn't put in here? I know we've talked about bacon.
Shouldn't put it in there. I have not really found anything that I just shouldn't put in. I have found things that I have to be more cautious with. I was telling everybody on set earlier about reheating some chips from a local restaurant, and you know, the air is circulating in this air fryer, and so a chip floated up and got caught on the element and caught on fire. Fortunately, I was right there, so it wasn't a big deal. But just, you know, keep it in mind that there is air circulating, so those lighter weight items you've got to keep an eye on. You know, I like to not make a huge mess in my air fryer, so there's benefits for the grease being able to drip down. But sometimes I, you know, have other options. So I've cooked a ton of stuff. The main thing I tell people though is just to keep trying the different things in your air fryer. If you try roasted vegetables one time and it doesn't work out, just try it again. You might have cooked it too long, or you might have had your heat up too high. You might have had too much oil. There's, you know, some of it's trial and error, we love our air fryer. Yeah. Everything tastes good.
From a dietitian standpoint and nutrition, obviously this reduces the amount of saturated fats and oils that we're putting into our body, making it heart healthy, and we can still get that crisp. We're still getting the same texture characteristics that we would get from fried foods, but we're just not submerging our foods in fat. Yeah. So, okay. Exactly. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share before we get started on that?
I don't think right off the bat. I've got some tips and tricks, but we'll probably throw those in as we go. Okay. So. Perfect. All right, Chris, you said you were going to make some food for us.
I do. I hope you came hungry today, Emily. And those of you at home, just quick, we're using these air fryers today. We really wanted to bring stuff to you that not only is something that you're comfortable with, we also want it to fit your budget. And what we've done is we just went and picked up a few items, very quick, very simple, just to kind of get you acclimated or used to using an air fryer, and then see what the end result looks like. And what we started out first with just apple chips. We've got these Granny Smith apples. I bought 3 of them at less than $2 a pound. Quick, easy snack for after school. All I did was I sliced them about 1 inch. The recipe calls for an 1/8 inch. That might be a little bit thicker than what I needed, but nonetheless, we're not putting any oil in this air fryer that like Emily has stated before. But there was a question. We talked about necessities for preheating the air fryers.
Yeah, so I get that question a lot in my air fryer classes. You know, am I supposed to preheat it? Does it say in my book if I'm supposed to preheat it? I tell people, personally, I don't preheat just because it's not always necessary, or maybe I don't have time, I'm kind of quick and going. I would say the most important time to preheat would be to do those baked goods, pastry type items. You know, some people put cookies in their air fryer, or
That sounds good.
It is really good. Sometimes we use like crescent rolls in the recipe, like wrap something in a crescent roll. And so that's going to be the same concept as an oven. You're going to want to preheat that for even cooking. But for something like apple chips and some of the recipes we're using today, not as important. It just might affect your cooking time a little bit. But that's kind of, you know, one of the beauties of the air fryer. You open it up, you shake your basket, you check it, you put it back in. You're not losing all that heat like you do in a regular oven. So that's the beauty of an air fryer.
Sure.
You just turn it on a little longer.
And that's why we're doing it for you. So I have turned this on 370 degrees in a preheat motion. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pull this drawer out. I have my pre-sliced apple slices, and you can do them. You can take a cookie cutter and cut them into stars or dinosaurs or whatever you wanted to. I'm just going to lay these down here like this, and in the bottom of the air fryer. I know I've seen you use aluminum foil and parchment paper, but I don't think that's necessary for this per se. I've not done this before, so we're all going to get this for the first time. But I'm just laying these apple slices flat. They're overlaying some of them.
And if you like more cinnamon, you can just kind of toss them up in the air, like, and then sprinkle them some more, or we'll shake them about halfway through, and then you can add some more cinnamon on them if you want. It's just kind of up to you. The air fryer is pretty forgiving, so.
It is forgiving. It is forgiving. We've got it at 375 degrees. I'm going to bump this up to, that's minutes. I'm going to turn this up to 400, and we're going to let it go for about 15 minutes. We'll check it at about 8, see where they're at. If we need to apply some more cinnamon, we will. Give us an idea of how much longer we have to cook, and then we get the sample.
Yes.
That's what's fun.
That's the fun.
Yes. Okay, we're going to set this one aside, and we're going to move over to the sweet potato french fries.
So this is probably the least fancy of our air fryers that we have today. This is similar to the one I have at my house. It's a little bit bigger, but it just has a temperature dial here at the top that you just turn. Really simple. Kids can use it. And then this is just like your basic kitchen timer. You turn it on. When it's done, it's gonna ding. So it's very basic, but it's really big.
It is big, but I'm gonna ask you the question again, even though I've already asked you this. How do I know that it's on?
It makes a little whooshing sound.
No green lights or anything?
This is actually a really quiet one.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no lights. The only way you know it's on is you can just kind of barely hear that air circulating. It's even quieter than that one.
Yeah, this one, it's right here, but I'm used to this. But when we started that one, it's very quiet.
It is. It's very quiet.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to allow Emilee to load this tray up. Again, this is about a 7.5 quart air fryer. We're going to do some sweet potato french fries at 400 degrees, I believe, for about 15 minutes.
One thing about, the sweet potato fries, we've got pretty slim ones here, so you're talking skinny fries. You can even make them a little bigger if you like a different texture to them, kind of like a sweet potato wedge, if you will. I was telling Chris, I have always been taught not to use aerosolized sprays. So like your canned sprays that you purchase at the store. So this is just a little one that I got at the local grocery store. You can get them online, but you take the lid off, fill it with whatever oil you want, and then it has a little pump on it. So you pump it up, and then it's able to spray kind of like an aerosolized, but it's not gonna leave that sticky residue that you'll have a big sticky buildup
on the inside of your pan.
On the inside of your pan. It's really hard to clean. Mine at home has evidence of it before I learned. So that's just like a really big tip that I've learned is don't use aerosolized spray. So these little spray balls, super inexpensive, and you just spray it on and it comes out like aerosolized. And then you just kind of, toss them around a little, spritz them a little more. That oil is gonna help crisp them up a little bit and, just give them a little color.
Some texture.
Yeah. And you don't want to overfill your basket. We're going to toss these halfway through cooking. So we could probably put a couple more in there. You don't want to overfill it because you want that air to be able to circulate.
Sure.
So how do you want to season them up?
We haven't used salt yet, so I think we're going to use a little salt, just a little bit. We can always add more to taste. And I didn't say this earlier about the cinnamon, but it's a natural anti-inflammatory, if you didn't know that. So eat it as often as you'd like. It makes, if you like it, obviously, but let's give these things a whirl.
All right, I think they're good to go.
Okay.
We can always add more. So we're just gonna slide that in here. I've already set our dial to 400. And then how many minutes did you say?
15.
15 minutes, and then about halfway through, we'll give them a nice little toss to get that on there. And I'm not seeing my numbers very well, but I think we're about at 15.
Okay, well, we've got our apple chips working. We have our sweet potato French fries working, but I noticed when you were doing this, and we have talked about it already, Emilee, it doesn't have a digital timer on it. How do you keep track of that?
You know, it makes a pretty loud ding at the end, so I mean, I hear it, but you know, it's not always the most accurate. You know, you try to get it on that 15, but it may not quite be there. So I normally just set a timer on my phone. That way I can walk into the other room. I have an Alexa at home, so I can set that in my kitchen and I can hear it in the other room. And then that way I know that it's actually an accurate timer. I even sometimes, you know, we're cooking these for 15 minutes. I'll say, you know, set an 8-minute timer. And then that way I remember to actually go back and toss them halfway through, because I've done that several times.
We're busy lifestyles, busy households, and so sometimes it's nice to have that intermediate reminder that I've got something in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Emilee, the studio smells amazing.
It does. Very good.
And we have some apple chips and some sweet potato French fries. Which one do you want to try?
I think I want to try the sweet potato fries.
Okay, well, you try that one, and I'll try the chips.
They look really good.
They do look good.
I think I want some caramel sauce on them, though.
Texture-wise, this may be a little bit different. It's chip. It's not a crunch, but we've tried some, and they...
Good.
I mean, we talk about an afternoon snack for the kids. It's quick. I'd imagine these are both things that you could do early in the week. Tupperware, let the kids just be able to snack on top of them. But these are good after-school snacks for the kids. It's quick.
They can reheat them in the air fryer. Crisp back up.
They can reheat these. If you haven't tried, the Granny Smith flavor really just pops out of that.
I'm not normally a cooked fruit kind of person, so that's my hesitation.
Well, this batch was way better than that first one that we did.
Very good. I think we did a good job.
I agree. Now we have chicken tenders 2 ways. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our tummies aren't full yet after those apple chips and those sweet potato fries, so we're going to come at you with a couple more ways. We've got the creme la crop of the Ninja air fryer over here. We're going to let Emilee show us how to operate this, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to do chicken tenders 2 ways. One, I got a package of chicken tenders, your classic chicken tender. I did not pull the tenderloin out of it like you see all over TikTok and everything else. All I did was just cut them up into 1-inch thick pieces, if you will. We're going to do some of them by themselves. Emilee's just going to, she's going to season them with Tony Chachere's Cajun seasoning and spritz them a little bit, and then we're going to stick them in one side of that air fryer, and we'll get those going. And then the other one, I'm going to egg wash Cheerio flour. How many of you have done that at home? We really want to focus on using the items that you would have at home, and I really feel like Cheerios is one that people don't think about using as a flour. Let your kids beat it up, right? You take a can, roll it across the top of it. But while Emilee's doing that, I'm going to...
Now, did you say they were Honey Nut Cheerios or plain Cheerios?
Correct. Honey Nut Cheerios, you're right. Honey Nut Cheerios, I'm sorry. So I have done this before with animal crackers.
I feel like the Honey Nut Cheerios is going to be interesting, though, with, like a honey chicken. I mean, we use honey to season chicken, so...
Absolutely. I think this is going to be great. I have no doubt in my mind.
I'm excited to see it. I just spritzed this with a little oil, and I just sprinkled a little. This is just regular Tony Chachere's, not the bold stuff, so I'm probably not going to overdo it too much. But I'm just going to go ahead and set these in here and get those ready to go. So at home, y'all can't really see this, but I'm just spacing them out pretty evenly. We kind of talked about... Did we discuss the tinfoil and parchment paper options?
You did. I think we were talking about it off camera. That's a good point, Emilee. Sometimes Emilee was talking about earlier parchment paper, especially when you're cooking or building a tray out of aluminum foil that would sit down in it so that you can you pick your cookies up or your breads that you're cooking inside of here, or whatever really, that allows you to just pick it up and so that they don't bend and fall apart as easily. Is that right?
Yeah, and less mess. I'm a mom, and so I don't like to do more dishes than I have to do. So I still have to wash this, obviously, but I wouldn't have to soak it and scrub it and, put too much elbow grease into it.
Kind of like the liners that they put in their crock pots.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly like that. Okay. So it's just one of those things, you decide what your wants and needs in life, and I don't have to have aluminum foil or parchment paper in my air fryer, but I want to.
Okay, all right. Well, you do what you want to do. You do what you want to do at home too. But first, can you hand me that basket?
I can. It looks like it's sticking on there.
I mean, it's just a chicken tender. You saw it, egg wash. I got maybe a quarter cup of milk and 2 eggs. That's all I got. I whisked in there, and you can see the coating on the outside of these chicken tenders. And I'm going to lay them in there just like Emilee did. Just separate them. I don't want them stacked on top of each other, allowing the air to circulate. Now, the apple chips and the sweet potato french fries took about 15 minutes for us to cook. I don't anticipate it taking that long for these. So again, if that's you're looking for a quick snack or a quick meal that you want to pop into the air fryer because you got a busy night and all the kids are playing soccer and baseball, I think this is something that you could prepare in advance. We'll allow Emilee to get this thing started, and then here in a few minutes after she gets this going, we'll come back and we'll give them a taste.
So what temperature do you want them on?
Well, let's start with 375.
375, and how many?
Let's start with 8 minutes first. These aren't very big pieces, and I think we'll get, if not, maybe a couple more minutes, but I think that's a good place to start.
I think you're right. All right, so we'll get it fired up here, and I'm gonna do a match cook so that they're both cooking at the same time, one of those fancy things. Air fry, and you said 375 for 8 minutes. So we're gonna go down and we'll hit start. And this one's a little bit louder. It beeps for everything. You can hear it whirling a little bit more, so it's just a little bit louder than that last one we used, but it's a little fancier. So
okay, so which one do you think is going to be your favorite?
I don't know. I've honestly never breaded anything in my air fryer. I don't know why. I've never actually used wet breading for it.
The wetting and then the dry?
Yeah,
sure.
I've not done that. So I'm really excited to try that. And the Cheerios. I think it's going to be really good.
Cornflakes works good too. I've not stepped out and used any other cereals, but I can imagine you can get creative at home. So catch us here in about 7 minutes and we'll let you know what they taste like.
Well, it looks like our chicken is done, and I think it turned out pretty good.
I agree. The only thing that we need to do to make sure that they turned out as good as they look is to try them.
Yes, I agree. So we've got the just plain, no batter, anything, Tony Chachere's, and then we've got the ones that were breaded in the Honey Nut Cheerios.
And honey mustard and barbecue. Mm-hmm. I mean, those are your classics. Which one are you going for first?
I want to try the Cheerio ones.
I do.
Okay, well, we'll just have to try both of them.
Okay. I mean, this is what it looks like. It's a chicken tender, egg wash into a Cheerio. I'm just going to try it without.
It's really good.
As you can see, it was $3.75 for about 8 minutes to begin with. And then we turned it up to $400 for another 3 minutes, trying to get a golden brown, just some color for presentation. But you can see the chicken's done.
I was say, come on and taste it. I need you to, yeah, see, it's really good.
That is good.
Like you can taste the sweetness from the Cheerios.
But it doesn't taste like a Cheerio chicken nugget.
It's really good.
I'm gonna go for the Tony Chachere's. These were spritzed and seasoned with Tony Chachere's, not a spice, but we did add some extra just to give it some pop, but cheers.
I really like it. It all turned out great.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for your help today. To give Emilee some extra exposure, she has created this cookbook for air fryer. You can get her contact information at the bottom of it. You do not have to live in Prairie County to give Emilee a call. Please bug her, blow her phone up. Get this out here because I promise you, you'll want this in your house.
And don't forget, we have agents in all counties around Arkansas. A lot of these recipes have either been shared with me or they're ones that I've found at different reputable resources. And so, you know, if you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of your local cooperative extension service.
You'll find useful information, just cook times on different kinds of foods that you can use for your air fryer, as long with other recipes and just do's and don'ts of the air fryer. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Emilee, thank you for having me on the set.
Thank you. It was fun.
We'll see you guys next time.